Hey guys, it's Stacy with Chapter Chicks, and today I'm going to do things a little differently. Me and Jesse discussed this in the YouTube videos. Are getting a little boring just because we can't talk about spoilers, we can't talk about what we liked about the book, and it's starting to get really annoying because all we're over here doing is, oh, I liked it, I liked the characters. Can't tell you why I liked it and liked the characters just because it was be spoiling people. So what we decided to do is that the first half of the video, I don't know if Jesse's already told you this or not. I haven't watched her latest videos. Anyways, at the first half of the video, we're going to do the review like we usually do. This is what you need to know if you like the book, and this is who's buying, what we liked about it, just like a regular review. And then halfway through, we're going to be like, okay, if you haven't read the book and you do not want to be spoiled, then stop watching, because we want to start talking a little bit more in depth about the book and what we really enjoy about it, and favorite scenes from it, favorite characters from it, and why, and blah, blah, blah. So, it's going to be your own fault if you get spoiled. Just because we were tired of doing it like that, we tried and we thought we did a very good job not spoiling so far, but it's starting to get a little boring for us just to be always like, I like this book, check it out, you know. So, alright. A long time ago, I think when I did one of my bookshelf tours, somebody asked me to do a review on The Host and why I loved it so much and why it was my favorite book. But for some reason, I cannot find that comment anywhere. I don't know if they erased it or if I just can't find it, because usually the books that get requested to me, I write them down and I save them, but I went through my list and I can't find who requested this video at all. So I don't know if that person just removed it or if it's just my fault that I just misplaced it somewhere. I even went through a couple videos looking for it, but I couldn't find it. So if you are the person who requested this video, I'm very sorry that I could not find your name anywhere, but somebody asked me to reread The Host and talk about why I loved it so much. So, this is The Host by Stephenie Meyer. It is a very big book, as you can see, and what it's about, there is a girl, okay, aliens have taken over Earth, and the way that they do it is that one of the aliens are implanted in the back of your skull, so they take over your body, therefore the host. They are an alien pesticide that is in your body, not a pesticide really, but just something that's in your body that controls your body. So, at this point in the story, when we start off, we are from the point of view of one of the aliens. I say alien, weird. Oh well. And she's being implanted into a human host, which is a very rare thing at this time because they have taken over and they thought they've gotten most of the humans already. So, that's where the book starts off with. The body's name is Melanie. And the alien, the soul is what they're called, is Wanda. So, what happens is Melanie's not gone. She's still there, and she tries to force her memories of people that she loved on Wanda, and Wanda tries to dig deeper to find out where they're at, what if they've been captured yet, and they end up forming a bond and going to look for the humans that Melanie has fallen in love with. That's all I'm going to say about the book. Okay, if you are a Stephenie Meyer fan, especially like the Twilight Saga series fan, and you just want more Stephenie Meyer and you have not read this book yet, but just maybe because it's too big, I definitely do it. Stephenie Meyer, the reason I love her writing so much, and I really don't like it when people get on her, is because she has a way, her writing style has a way of bringing you so deeply into her world that she has created. I mean, you actually see what you're reading, you're just so drawn in that you completely forget that you're reading, and that's one of the books that I really love. Like, you are just so into the story that you just don't even think about reading anymore. You just see it in your head. And it's very simple writing. It's not something that you have to really think about. Her stories are simple, but they're good, and I just love her writing. I really do. I think she's a really good writer. It's a very good book. 10 stars. The characters are amazing. There's so many characters that you get to meet and interact with, and And the conflict between Melanie and Wanda is just so cool, and the people that she interacts with I love, and the places that she goes I just love. The whole book is amazing. Amazing writing style, amazing characters, 10 stars all the way. Obviously, since this is like the 4th time I've read it. Alright, now it's spoiler time, so if you have not read this book, stop watching immediately because I'm going to talk about everything about this book, including probably maybe the ending and my favorite scenes from it and all that good stuff. So if you have not read this book, stop watching now. So hopefully, if you have not read this book, you have stopped watching because, oh, such a good book. Okay. I want to talk about why I love this world so much is because it has a little bit to do with why I love reading. I love reading so much because I feel like I'm very lucky to have the passion to read, because so many people don't understand what they are missing in all of these books and all these little worlds that you feel like belong to you after you read them. And that's why I love reading. I feel like all these places I am privileged to go and visit, and I don't understand why people who can read will not read just because they think it's boring, because I don't understand these worlds are amazing. So that's kind of the reason why I like this book so much, because I feel like Wanda when it comes to reading. She gets to go and live in this place that's her own little secret with these humans that they're her humans. She gets to experience their world, and she's got to keep it secret, and she doesn't understand why other souls don't want to experience relationship with humans just because they're so amazing. She feels so blessed to be a part of that world, and that's kind of why I like this book so much, because it feels like that's exactly why I love reading. I get to experience these worlds, and I feel privileged to experience these worlds. So one of the big reasons why I like this book, I like her secret little world that she gets to go and experience with those other people. Okay, the characters. I think Wanda and Melanie are two of my favorite characters. Wanda, she's so sweet, and she's so compassionate, and she believes in doing the right thing no matter what, even if it means going against her nature. So she's like a trooper. She's like what we should strive to be, just sweet and kind and nice to everybody we meet, and that's Wanda. And that's why I love her so much. Melanie, I love her too, just because I feel like that a lot of girls are like that. You're either the Melanie with the Wanda trying to fight and get out, you're the strong, bold woman that who's independent and thinks that she doesn't need help from nobody, and your Wanda's trying to get out, or it's reversed, you're Wanda and you're trying to bring your strong female persona out. So that's why I love that character so much. I am personally a Wanda with a Melanie trying to come out, because I'm a sweet person and I don't always speak my mind because I don't want to hurt other people's feelings. I keep my opinions about other people to myself. Between the guys, Ian and Jared, I love Jared. I think it's because I lived with a roommate of mine whose name was Ian, and he was like such a good friend of mine and such a buddy, and we lived together for about 1.5 years, and he wasn't a boyfriend. It was actually, I lived with Pete and Pete's sister, and he was Pete's sister's boyfriend. So really sweet guy. He was like a big old teddy bear, you know what I mean? So every time I read this book and I see Ian, I always think of Ian. So I can't really, I connect that Ian too much to the Ian I know in real life. So Jared, I love Jared. He's so sweet. He's so protective. He takes on Melanie and Jamie. He takes care of Jamie like he's his own brother, and even though he sometimes slips up and doesn't do what's always right by him, he really tries to. And he's kind of like the go-to guy in the cave, and I really, when a girl likes a guy, that's something that makes you very proud of your guy, like, oh, something needs to be done, so they automatically go to my man, and you feel automatic pride for your man, and that's how Jared is. He's got a cool head, he keeps everything together, and he goes off on these adventures and makes sure, or these raids, and makes sure everyone comes home safe and that everyone has food. He is like a big staple in the cave, and before he came there, the people in the cave really had a hard time getting food and making sure everyone came back safe, and so I love Jared. Jeb, I think, is one of the coolest old guy characters ever. He reminds me I've heard other people say this on the web, But he reminds me so much of Sam Elliott. When I read the book, I picture Sam Elliott. I hear Sam Elliott's voice. If you don't know who Sam Elliott is, look him up, and I'm sure you'll agree he is a perfect Uncle Jeb. I even hear his voice. I've never pictured a character so clearly as I have Uncle Jeb. He better be cast as Uncle Jeb in the movie, because if not, I will be very mad. Jamie is so sweet. I love Jamie. I think of every time I read the book, I kind of picture Dylan, because Dylan's sweet like that. He has his own little nook that he fits in on my shoulder too. So it's like, always imagine kind of Dylan as Jamie. My favorite scene in the book, well, one of my favorite scenes in the book, there's a couple of them. I really like the scene in the book, which is probably an obvious one, when Jamie is sick and Wanda for the first time has realized that Melanie is no longer in her head, so she freaks out. So she gets Ian, and Ian goes, and they go in their own little corridor, and they kiss to try to see if Melanie will come out. She says, I need Jared. Jared's the only one who brings Melanie out of me. And Ian, like a trooper, I love Ian, but I wish I can't picture him in a hot guy sense. But I love how he just kind of like goes off and gets Jared. He doesn't try to say, oh, I can't handle that, or I can't do that. He's just like, this is what you need, and I'll go get it for you. And then her and Jared kiss. I love that scene. Another favorite scene of mine I have is when everyone kind of gets on Jared for what a jerk he's being to Wanda, and even Melanie's like, yeah, you go, girl, because he's being such a jerk. And he says something along the lines, I don't remember his exact lines, but you think I would, since it's one of my favorite scenes, is he talks about how it's not important that she's there for Walter and blah, blah, blah. She said something snobby to her, and she's like, everyone's like, look, she's been here all night holding his hand. What have you done for him? And he just goes off, and even Melanie says, or even Wanda says, if you're trying to be a jerk, then you're succeeding very well. So I love that part when everyone's finally like, oh, Jared's not a god, and maybe someone should tell him off for being such a jerk. And I also love at the end how Jared's the one who picks her new host, because to me that's like, he likes the host, and he thinks the host that he picked is cute, and he also already likes Wanda, so I wonder when those two come together. They even say that they have some kind of mixed feelings towards each other, like Melanie sometimes leaning towards Ian, and Ian sometimes like absent-mindedly brushing her hair. And even Jared's like kind of staring at Wanda once in a while. I can't wait to see what happens with that in the next book, because I think that maybe some confused feelings might come up. And yeah, I really love this book. Tell me what you guys thought about it. Tell me what your favorite character was. What was your favorite scene? Try not to spoil too much, because the comments, people kind of glance through the comments, and I don't want to get them to get spoiled. But just don't try not to spoil too much. I'm sorry if you're the person who requested this book and I didn't get to find your name or whatever, just disappeared. But really love the book, and I loved an excuse. I think you didn't even reply to your comment as this. I love any excuse to read The Host again. Even though it was my fourth time reading it, I still loved it. I was still sitting there smiling, and Pete walks in, and he's like, how could you be giddy over a book? I don't understand. Why are you sitting there smiling at a book? I'm like, because it's an amazing book. The beginning was really hard for me to get through this time before she goes to the caves. That seemed like it dragged on a lot more this time, because I knew she'd eventually get to them. Love this book. I love being able to review it. I'm going to be doing my reviews like this from now on, because I'm tired of walking on eggshells all the time around spoils. It's getting boring. So, tell me if you like doing the reviews like this. If you're somebody who people at the beginning won't be able to stay, but tell me if you like the reviews like this a little bit more, because I do. I like to be able to discuss my book and what I like about the book. So, this is Stacy with Chapter Chicks, and I hope you liked the review, and this chapter was for you.